Hey everyone, this is LisaRenee and you are tuned in to LisaRenee Speaks. Now listen. So, as I said before, I'm just going to be dropping gems and information about purpose and like how you can step into your purpose and be the woman you're striving to be. That's my whole thing, especially for what I'm doing and where I'm going and what I'm trying to accomplish. And so today is Talk About It Tuesday. And on Talk About It Tuesday, we talk about different things that affect us, our purpose, who we're trying to be, and how we can learn to change those patterns and change those behaviors that most of us have either learned through observation or that we learn from experience. So, on today's topic, on Talk About It Tuesday, I will be talking about family behaviors, family patterns, and different behaviors that we have seen growing up that affects us to this day and have somewhat of an effect on our purpose. Because with your purpose, it's not just about the professional part of you, it's the personal part of you as well. Your personal demeanor and your personal well-being is also important to your professional well-being. Also, as a person, you don't just step into being a business. You start as a person and you build into a business person. You build into being a wife. You build into being a husband, or you build into being what you're trying to be. But it first starts with you, finding who you are, your behaviors, your personalities, and your characteristics. So, one topic I really did want to talk about was when I was growing up, relationships were not always modeled in the most perfect way. And some of my beliefs and some of my ideologies about relationships stem from inadvertently what I've watched growing up. And I'm going to give examples of family behaviors as far as relationships that kind of shaped me without me even knowing. Okay, so the first thing, growing up, my grandmother, very strong woman, very about her business, very tough and strong, may I say that again. And so I didn't really see the dynamic between her and my granddaddy modeled the way I would have liked it seen. So again, because my grandma was very alpha female, very strong, very brazen, very bold, very outspoken, that behavior she displayed trickled over into her relationship with my granddaddy. And we would see it the way she talked to him, the way she would treat him, the way she would speak of him and about him. You would look like, damn, that's very demasculating to a man. I don't even know why he deal with this bitch. But I had to look at it. And when I started growing up and started dating, I started to look at how I actually would act in a relationship. And I'm going to go as early as when I was like maybe 12 or 13, or before I turned 15 and got into a real relationship, my first real relationship. I was dating this boy and I used to like him. I liked him a lot, and he was one of the neighborhood fine boys, and I just really liked him. And so, and we were cool, we were neighborhood friends, cool dude. And we finally decided to start talking to each other, that kitty love shit. And I used to treat this dude like shit, for real. I would, try to talk about him in front of people. I try to put him out there, try to keep him in check, try to lock him, just being real mean to him, because I thought that was the way that you would gain the control in your relationship, or that would be the way that the man would love you if you are strong and you didn't take no stuff, or I just really thought that was what I was supposed to be doing. I was supposed to treat him like shit and he was just supposed to love me and everything would be cool and he'd do what I say. And I learned that wasn't the case, because once I treated him like shit in front of somebody in the park, I'll never forget. I was talking to him. I was like, it's over. I want you that. I'm talking to him, saying all this shit to him, and he never dated me again. That's crazy because we liked each other. We were dating. It was cool. Like that was, he was still my boy even after we, tried to do what we do. Like he told me like, I'm not getting back with you. Once we done, we done. But I really liked him, and I was just doing it because I thought that's what I'm supposed to do. Like I thought it's normal. Okay, let me treat him like shit, and he loved me. But inadvertently, now that I think about it as an adult, that's how my grandma treated my granddaddy. She treated him just like that. Treated him like shit. He stuck around. He took all her shit. And he probably do whatever he could for her. But she never really owned him as her man. I didn't know what was going on. All she used to say is, that's my child's father. That's it. Like it never was attached to emotion. It was never attached to, I love this man. This is my man. Or, this your granddaddy has been the best man. I never heard her talk any good of him. All it was bad. And I used to think like, well, that's very demasculating to a man. And then I could go a step further, like with my auntie. She became my sole guardian once my mom died. So this is when I really got to see the family dynamic and how we function and how we react and relate to people. And some of those characteristics and behaviors I still carry with me today because I inadvertently took that and put it into my DNA as normal. But at any rate, so my auntie, like every time I would see her in a relationship, it didn't seem like it was a genuine relationship, or it was a commitment, or it was a loving environment. Like, it just seemed like it was just there. Like, I'm in this relationship with this person, and it is what it is. He's here to serve a purpose, and that is it. And I didn't see modeled what it was like to be a woman who is loving, caring, and just emotional within the relationship. And so that kind of hardened me a little bit, like, because I didn't know what it looked like to be in a relationship and be soft and be warm and it just be a togetherness. And then to take it even a step further, I think about my relationship with men and how I never really had a father figure or a male figure who I can go talk to when I'm having relationship problems, or I need a question about a boy, or if I really like a boy, what should I do, uncle? What should I do, cousin? What should I, I never had that space where I could go talk to a male figure and be vulnerable and feel safe and protected at the same time, because I know this man wants best for me, and he also loves me, and he also wants to be that figure in my life. I never had that. I grew up with two men in the house, my granddaddy and my uncle. They were men of the house, even though women of the house really ran and functioned everything around us. There were two men in our house, and my uncle, I couldn't really talk to him because he had his own issues. He was dealing with alcohol. He was very aggressive, and it was like hard to like really connect or communicate with the man, because the only time you would communicate with him is if he was bringing some aggressive mess to you, or if he was hollering, or if he was not being an uncle and being loving and caring. I couldn't just go in the basement and be like, uncle, dang, man, I like this boy, but I don't know if I should date him. What you think? I never had that opportunity and space. Everything I learned about men was from my own experience. It was, or from what I've seen modeled, but it wasn't the appropriate way now that I look at it as an adult, because you can see the effects in your relationships. And again, I say all of this to say, and I say all of this to say how this relates to purpose. Your family behaviors and beliefs are embedded in you, even if you don't want it, even if you try to fight it. They're a part of your DNA, part of your personality, part of your characteristics that are surrounded around and created off of the foundations that you have learned in your family, your friends, your closest people to you. But it always starts in the home, your family and friends. You learn about life. You learn how to navigate the world. You learn how to react with people. You learn how to do a lot of things based off of what you learn in your home as a young person. And if you're being taught things that are not the normal or proper way to do it, you'll go through life thinking that it's normal to be with someone and then not talk to them, or normal to be with someone and disrespect them. It's normal to be with someone and be beat on. It's normal to be with someone and not show any type of love. It is normal to be with someone and not put yourself first. It's normal to be with someone and not be who you need to be. You just, everything that you have learned in this body as your person is your foundation, and then everything else around it is what you are building. And so your foundation has to be right. And if your foundation was founded on a lot of inappropriate and not the right way to do things, you will, again, it will affect you in many other ways. And as far as relationships goes, if you learn different relationship patterns through your family and it wasn't appropriate, you will take those experiences and then you will take them into other relationships. And then if you don't grow and learn from these mistakes, you will continue to be in relationships that either don't serve your purpose or are not aligned with your purpose, or you will act and behave in ways that don't align with your purpose or are not getting you closer to your purpose. And when I look at my journey, a lot of the, family behaviors and patterns are embedded in me. And sometimes I do try to be mindful of those behaviors. I try to be mindful when I am being too aggressive to a man, or if I'm being too standoffish to another person, or if I'm not communicating with people, if I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do because I've learned those behaviors to be normal. It is my duty as a grown woman to change those behaviors, because those behaviors not only affect me in one area, it affects me in a lot of different areas. So I say all of this to say, when you're trying to align with purpose, you need to do a self-inventory of your behaviors, your patterns, the things that you know that either trigger you, the things that you know that affect you, the things that you know that you should be working on and improving in. And usually a lot of those behaviors start when we're young. And if we can break them when we're younger and we can realize them, that's great. But as you get older, it's all about being mindful and changing your mindset. You can learn a plethora of different things to do it one way, but then you can learn another way to do things. It's okay. As humans, we're multifaceted. As humans, we're complex. There's a lot of different angles to us, but this one person, this one body, this one foundation is what you use to build. So all of the characteristics, the personalities, the traits, the skills, the experiences, the perspectives you have, you just use those to keep building on more. It's not a wrong way to do anything, but there's also not an appropriate way to do things. And sometimes you just got to step back, do a self-inventory of yourself, of your behaviors, your patterns, your childhood experiences, because you may not think of it, but childhood experiences still guide how we act as adults. If you were hurt a lot when you were young, you go through your life as an adult looking at life like someone's gonna hurt you. But if you're trying to find your purpose, you have to have some level of discernment, because if you have some level of discernment, when you're going out there, you're bumping heads and you're touching, you're talking to people, you'll be able to discern if this person aligns with your values, your purpose, or if this person needs to get the hell on. And that's fine if you meet someone and then, you're vibing and things don't always line up like that. That doesn't make you a failure. That doesn't mean anything's wrong with you. It just may mean that person is not for you. But you have to have a level of discernment so that you'll know, yeah, I don't even need to go your path, because you're not even on what I need. I need to be going right around you, looking past you, like skirting off on you for real. So with all of that being said, when we are finding purpose, we just need to check ourselves. We need to look into what can stop us from being successful, what can help us from being successful, because let's be honest, some family behaviors and patterns that we learn help us to this day, help us navigate a lot of things in life, help us avoid a lot of bullshit. And I will say that for me, being someone who's about my business because I've seen my family be about their business, being someone who stays out of other people's business because my family did that, that helps me navigate the world of staying out of a lot of shit that I don't gotta be in, because I stay to myself, I run with myself. But I do like people in my circle that are going to build and help me build. I don't need nobody that doesn't align with my values or my purpose. And that's why relationships and the patterns that you have are important, because when you are going on this road, you're gonna need people in your life. However, you're going to need people in your life that are positive, that align with your values, that actually help you get where you're trying to go. And when it comes to relationships, we're either meeting people to add value to our life or do something to make our life better. We're not looking for people who don't add value to our life and don't make our life better. So there's always going to be two things you're going to look for. What can this person do for me? And what can I do for that person? What value can I add to this person's life, and vice versa? If I can't add any value to this person's life and they can't add value to my life, that means I need to get the hell on. That's just that simple. I don't need to waste my energy or my space, because that energy and space can be occupied by someone who can add to my value. So, again, on Talk About Tuesdays, the moral of this story is, get right with yourself. Get right with the things that you have learned that are not necessarily normal or appropriate for the woman you're striving to be. That's all we're trying to do, is be women that we're striving to be. And sometimes the things that we used to do don't align with the things we need to be doing and the things that we're going to do moving forward. So, again, on Talk About It Tuesday, you need to get right with yourself so that you can also be right for others in your purpose. Because you can't be good if you are not producing good. Thank you, and I appreciate you guys for tuning in to LisaRenee Speaks. Now listen.